Hi, Namaskara. Today I'm just going to talk about Razor class library. I'll just show you what it is. Hopefully, you can see whenever you are creating a new project for a solution, existing solution or whatever it is, you used to add the top one. You can see here class library. It is just a class library. Similar way we have Razor class library. Okay, we can create. What is this Razor class library? This is also just a normal class library plus Razor features. That's it. Don't think of anything more or complicated or all those things. Once you start practicing, you'll understand the in depth. So the purpose of this one is reusing the features probably as we do in the normal class library. Whatever the functionalities we do, we can do all those things. But specifically for the sake of Razor features, we are having this Razor class library. Okay, so probably you can just create one normal class library, I mean Razor class library, and then declare the components and reuse it in all the places. The same way like we have in Angular, React, all those places. So similar to that, here also we are doing. That's it, nothing else. So in this quick short, I'll just try to use with the Blazor with some examples. In the Blazor means it's a browser plus Razor. Everything is the word itself tries to give the answer. That is what Microsoft intention. So browser plus Razor. Okay, in the Blazor we have something like WebApp and WebAssembly, all those things. Initially, the Blazor is started with the concept like the app runs in the browser. That's it. That's what browser plus Razor kind of. But now, as I improved stage, it become like a render mode, server side rendering, client side rendering, auto rendering. All those things comes into picture. Okay, but don't get mix up everything. Razor class library is just one feature which is in the one separate complex class library, and you're trying to reuse it. And how to load it, how to use that components. That's what I'm trying to give you. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to tell you. Yeah, again, namaskara. Hello, we are a Katte Software and Solutions. We are from India. It's a Katte means it's a Kannada word. It means donkey. Okay. Before going to the live, the examples, we are just maintaining in the multiple platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and all. But for the sake of Blazor, we are making a dedicated one website where centralized all the data we will be loading. Still, it's not loaded. Probably by the time you are able to see this page, we will be loading it. Okay, let's jump into the browser. Sorry, Visual Studio. Yeah, here this is my project. Here this is in the clean architecture code. Clean architecture, there are plenty of repositories, all those things available. So I just using that one for the sake of giving example. Okay, this is my web API, application programming interface. This API is consuming by one of the WebAssembly project. I will show the web app also. There is very slight difference. Okay, both I have ready. I'll just show you. So this WebAssembly. So here I just created the pages, blah blah, all those things, minimal kind of things. So here I have the references of other projects. Okay, for the sake of demo purpose only, I just went through some easily understandable flow. I just made it like a Blazor Razor common components. Okay, I just created a folder called Razor class library. Okay, sorry, let me expand. Here, yeah, probably one common issue with the Blazor when users are running is I'll just show you. When you are running it, it tries to show that kind of a client running items will be keep expanding the solution explorer. Let me show you. I just paused to run. You can see here it used to expand like this. Sometimes it's like a killing or time the expansion. You can see the length of this. It will be keep loading. Okay. The solution for this, meanwhile, I'm just hiding this. So just collapse this. Even if you collapse, when you run it, it just expands. So for solution for this one is try to add your solution under a folder called SRC or something, whatever is your convention. Just go here and right click and just say scope to this. So then that will be avoided. Okay. Yeah. Let's come back to the point. Blazor Wasm PWA means progressive web app. So this is where I'm referring that particular. Uh, Let me go back. Projects Blazor Common Razor Components. Okay, this is the one I have. This one I am referring from. First, I'll show you the structure. Then you will understand the how it is useful. Kind of. Yeah, you can see this particular Blazor Common Razor component. It's not having anything else. Just simple on imports project imports.razor, and then it has some projects. Here I have this is the my entry client project. where whatever you call client or whatever the convention, and then it has these this particular project Blazor Razor common components. Here I am loading all other projects which are required. Okay, and I have www root here, whichever my common features I can add it up here. Okay, that's but I didn't add anything here. We'll come to the next step. Here I have added this base Blazor common components Razor RCL. This in the Blaze I have my company logo, each and everything, all those features whichever I will be using for all the cases. Okay, the advantage of this one, what the motive or all those things is, you can use the same project source code just with whatever the tweak you wanted to do, then you can play on it. Okay. See, now I have my one company, my startup. Here we have all those features are fixed. Okay. You keep it here, base. And then from this base, you derive this particular my town is the one we are making a startup project. It's called a smart town project. So for that, here this is the one where I have dependency of which project this Blazor base Blazor components. From this base, I am referring here. I am defining all the components here. Something like this, add update town, for example. This is not my actual production source code. For the sake of demo, I just created the namings like this. Okay, don't mix up. You don't get this code anywhere. But for the video, I'm just making it up. If possible, I'll try to put it up in the GitHub or somewhere. Then I'll link share it up. Okay, this is the one. Here, the important fact is if you try to fetch the data from the internet or something, you will find the materials, but it is a lot of confusing. The reason for this is Blazor is still in a very early infant stage, we can tell. Okay, here I have added the components like this. My town is something, my component. Here I added this razor redirective, the page URLs, all those things. Okay, but you add this one probably if you come from the normal .NET background. If you add this, that is enough in for normal pages. Okay, but for referring these components, Blazor components, you need to do some simple tweak. That is, this is my main project, Blazor Wasm.pwa. So for any one startup entry, you are supposed to have ideally only one app.razor. Okay, this particular one app.razor in my case. So for this, in the internet, you might see some solutions like try to load through like this, go to program.cs and try to load manually, kind of, but don't take up all those things. It's all not clean solutions because when you are talking about the UI, that is for a app.razor most probably. So here, which are the components you want? By default, type of app.assembly. I mean, probably you must be knowing this how this loads. Assembly means this particular app, this file, wherever it is, that source project, you load all the assembly. That is by default. When you create a project, by default, you get this. Additionally, you need to have some more assemblies. For that, Microsoft brilliantly made this particular option, additional assemblies. I'm going to load this one, base Blazor components API. I mean, in that project, you just take any one file. If you don't have, for example, in my case, I'll just take up this. What is this? This is Blazor Razor common components. Okay, here I don't have anything else. Okay, I just simply referred this file, one C sharp file. That's it. Even if you don't have anything, just create one dummy test file and just refer it. So that is just for the sake of referring your code in the assembly. That's it. Okay, once you do that, then automatically, whenever your page redirection or whatever, for example, you can see here, I have the home page here. Here I don't have any home. Okay, home means you must be knowing for each Blazor application, you need to have one root component. Okay, root means only just root like this, like this. But currently, I don't have anything in this main project, but I have that in my depth of depth. I mean, here this one is having Blazor Razor common Razor components. That is this. This is having another project called this my town. Okay, I just created for testing town. Here under this, the root of the page is this one. Obviously, Blazor is giving one more brilliant option. You can add hundreds of page redirectors, but don't confuse yourself. Try to maintain very decent. And one more important fact is here, don't put any comments or anything. If you put anything, it just makes you like hell. You'll be confused. Still, in Visual Studio Intelligence is not enough to show you exact issue or what it is. It gives some appears like it's a very crappy kind of code, but don't mix up. At this line has to be very clean, whatever the purpose you want to have. I mean, what used to happen, I'll tell you my case. I used to mention, for example, like this, or dummy code or whatever you say. uh, if I used to make like this, we think like it works, but no, it shows the error unexpected literal. At least I think now Visual Studio is updated, it is showing somewhat better, but earlier it was not. It used to show some different errors. The whole page appears to be kind of a some error crappy kind of, but now it is improved every day, day by day they are improving a lot. Don't worry about it. Yeah, now my intention is, so the root page is in this place under depth of project. So this is having like this. If I'm trying to run this particular code, you can see my code I'm running in multi-screen. So this is the one. Here actually I'm just doing nothing. Add new town, and I'm just loading some dummy data I just created here. Uh, you can see here. Uh, Okay, yeah, add new button, new town, and then these buttons appearing. I just created for testing purpose. My intention is this only. So this is for the sake of Blazor WebAssembly. Okay, the same approach you can follow for what you call web app also, but it's not most suitable for the web apps. I will show you another option. Sometimes we used to get like this, some errors and all. Just ignore it. Don't try to dig all those things. Then you will just lose the interest of Blazor itself. Just a second. Let me open my another project. This is also from the old codes. Okay, here the same structure, the same hierarchy, but the only difference is presentation. This is the web app server mode project. Here, the difference is you have to load those projects, additional projects. Where it is, yeah, like this. Map razor components with app. Additionally, you can run like this, add additional assemblies, blah blah blah, same like that. The reason why the difference is, probably if you look at, okay, yeah, this is what app.razor. Here it looks like this. The difference is in the WebAssembly you have separate index.html and app.razor, but here it is mixed. So don't do it here. This is, even this way is recommended in Microsoft also, Microsoft Pages also. Yeah, that's what about the difference in the modes. And yeah, one more important point. The same example I created for both. Go up here. Yeah, for example, in this, I'm in the Razor class library only. We used in the project of what do you call web app. We can, because we have to mention each component basis, which component is what type of render mode kind of. Then, if you're good with it, you need the convention. Then you can go like this in the component mention like this. But the problem when you mention like this is if this same component, for example, in this case only, I have this component, I'm using it in web app server mode as well as web assembly. Okay, so both the place I'm using. So in the WebAssembly, this render mode is a meaningless. Okay, by default in the WebAssembly, it's a client-side rendering only. It means WebAssembly, you must be knowing the concept. WebAssembly, everything loads in, downloads to the browser, client browser, and then tries to execute with the support of browser environment itself. Okay, it's a short form of blah blah, so many things, so many advanced feature. So now this interactive auto means it first time it tries to run from the server, it just renders in the server and delivers the HTML page to the user. And whenever the second subsequent request it comes, it will fetch from the downloaded content and it displays. So it will be faster. This is for the web app. But if you are looking for the what do you call WebAssembly, then this line shows like a some invalid error kind of things. So for that case, just don't put it here. Instead, you just maintain. For example, this is my Blazor web app. Here, try to maintain the components. For example, here something like oh, and then mention that component what type you want. That's how you can maintain the point of different modes. One sec. uh, Not here. Yeah, that's what how we are loading. That's what I shown you. Wasm is there, render modes. Yeah, that is about Razor class library. And here you can add more features. And in this same thing, you can add the what you call services, all those dependencies. Same like how we use the normal class libraries. You can just refer it. I mean, create the interfaces wherever you want it. For example, let me jump back to the code. uh, let For example, in this particular in depth, you're supposed to you need some services. I didn't added that, I forget that. You need that service. Then what you can do, just create the services here wherever the place in the implementation, but create that interface in some common places. For example, here what I made is I just creating this public common here. All the public code I'm keeping it, and just because this code is accessible by API, I mean server side and backend side, like that. If you want something just within this presentation sharing, then create a shared project within this. For example, in this case, I have shared resources here only for Blazor shared. I'm just keeping it here. So try to maintain always a separation concern. Then, because the component basis is a very advanced feature, but when it becomes large, the expansion is more, then you will be messed up with the confusions. Okay, that is the reason. Just try to maintain very clear content. Here, yeah, this one, one more important point. You can see this is having the browser symbol. This is having just C sharp, means it is a just class library. This is Razor class library. That's it. Yeah, I hope this point is useful to somebody, because me and my team or whoever the Blazor beginners, I could notice in the internet and all, many are suffering with these points. That is the reason I just mentioned. If you guys get something wrong with my points, or if you guys get something more advanced and interesting stuff, please try to link us, probably my Twitter or YouTube, and probably we are maintaining the same thing in the Blazor.in one platform, open platform. I'm from India, so that is the reason I'm just going with a .in extension. It's just easy for us to convention, but it's globally accessible to everybody. Okay, cool. Keep coding, keep sharing, keep smiling.